We are back today for another TBR, and I can't believe that we have already reached the end of April and that May is imminent. My birthday month, so excited. But without further ado, we have tons of books to get through, so let's get into it. Now, because I had some shipping issues, I think in my last video I mentioned that I was going to order some books from Book of the Month, or that I wanted to participate in Book of the Month, but because I am in Germany, I have to reroute the books through my family in the States, and we had some shipping issues, which is why some of the books took forever to get here. So this was originally on my TBR for April, but I unfortunately did not get to read it, or at least I don't think I will, because it still currently is April, and I'm reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and this was the other one that I really wanted to read in April. But if I don't make it in April, I will certainly read it in May, and that is What's Mine and Yours from Naima Coster. I still don't really know what it's about. I think it's about busing in the wider context. We'll see what happens in this book, and I will let you know. The next book on the list is also a Book of the Month pick, because I just added tons of add-ons, or as many as I could. I think it's 2 per Book of the Month. And I have The Woman in the Window here by A.J. Finn. And this is a thriller, crime, mystery, something in that direction. And I just like the way it sounded. I've heard tons of good things about it. And because in April I listened to more thrillers, more crime stories, I figured, you know what, I could start getting into it again. So I ordered this book, and it's about a woman that is obviously scared of leaving her house, so she's always in the window, and she witnesses a murder, and things unfold. We will see how they unfold. The next of the beautiful Book of the Month books, I just think these books are just so nice, and what I find absolutely amazing is somehow the box of the Book of the Month, the box these books come in, are just done so well, because these are in such good condition. If you consider the fact that they literally crossed the ocean to get here. I don't think I've ever had hardbacks get here in like this pristine a condition. So I'm very impressed. And this is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and this is a celebrity book about celebrities with celebrity stories, and Evelyn Hugo, she marries a lot of guys, and I think the story is told through her different husbands, something like that, but this is definitely the book. I'm so excited. I've heard so many good things about this, so I can't wait to get into it. The last of the books that took forever to cross the ocean is What Comes After by Joanne Tompkins. This was my Book of the Month pick for April, but obviously it's just always going to be a month later, which is fine. As far as I understand, in this book, it's a lot about grief and letting go. 2 teens die of neighboring people, as far as I understand, and it's just their story through grief and how they deal with everything and how they find out more of the lives of their teens that have passed. That's the way I understood it, but we will see if that's actually the way this story unfolds. The next book I'm going to read is There by Tommy Orange, and I'm really excited about this. I have been reading more Native American literature, or I've been trying to read more literature by Native American authors, and this is a book about several different people who are all going to the same powwow, but it has different POVs, and they just, I guess they go through their different lives and different stories. I don't really know. It looks very short, but I also love the cover that I got this in. Cool book. Here, you can see it like that. I don't know. I'm very excited about this. We will see what it has in store for us. The next book is my nonfiction pick for the month, and that is Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. I heard about this book and I thought the idea was great. This is basically about Black women and what the white version of feminism is basically forgetting, and how they're excluding Black women in their narrative of feminism. And I love the idea. I think I definitely need to learn more about that, because obviously I grew up with white feminism, so this is something I'm very excited about. The next book on my list is Beautiful Things by Hunter Biden, and this is also just such a nice book. It looks so nice. I saw this actually on the German morning show. They actually had this in their on the German morning show, and they showed that Hunter Biden had published a memoir, and I really like memoirs, so I thought, hey, why not read this one for this month? And yeah, it's about their life, because I think the Biden family has gone through so much, so it would be interesting to read about those things and read about it from a point of view of one of the children in the family. So I'm very excited to read this. My next book is a reread, and that is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I think I've talked about this book many times on this channel. I recently rearranged my bookshelves, which you are going to see in a few months, I think, or a few weeks. My videos on this channel are filmed so far in advance, it's actually a miracle. But when going through my bookshelves, I thought, you know what, I would like to have a nicer version of this book. I really love this story, and I also found out in the meantime that it was originally published in English, so I finally purchased an English version and the English hardback just to have a nicer version, so I'll have more fun when rereading this. And yeah, so that's what this is here. So I'm going to reread it this month. I have no idea if I'm going to make it through all of these books this month, but I've been reading at a good rate, but this is a very thick book. So we will see how far I get through all of these. The last book on this list is The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker, and I am so glad I got it in this edition because the other paperback that I have been seeing online just isn't that pretty. And I just got this beautiful cover, and I really like this version of it. And this is also more of a dystopian pandemic type of situation. So there's something going around in a college dorm. Suddenly kids are falling asleep, or college kids are falling asleep, and they are not waking up. But when doctors look at their brain activity is increased. So there's this sickness going around that is like giving us super vivid nightmares and dreams. I don't know, it sounded like very interesting pretense. This was definitely something right up my alley, so I purchased this book as well. Oh, I forgot one book. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot a book. And that is The House on the Cerulean Sea. I'm still waiting for my copy, which is why I probably almost forgot it. But I'm kind of excited about this. This is the late night book club read, which is a book club by 3 different YouTubers that I really love. I will link their accounts below if you don't know them, but you probably know them more than you know me, so there you go. That is the pick for that book club, and I'm kind of worried because I am not a fantasy person, and this book is officially classified as fantasy, although more low fantasy than high fantasy, but still I'm very nervous about that because fantasy is not my thing, but we'll see if I enjoy it or not. But it's basically about this orphanage, the house on the Cerulean Sea, but I have not read up anything else. I don't like reading blurbs because I feel like sometimes they give too much away, or sometimes they make the story sound super weird. So I just try to every once in a while read a blurb and then decide based on videos or reviews that I've seen if I want to purchase a book or not, but then I just never read the blurb again until I read the book. So I don't know much about it. And that is my TBR for the month. I honestly think it's pretty long. It's 9 books, but I have been reading 10 books a month right now, or at least in March and in April. So maybe I can do the 9 books, but we will see. I'm not 100% confident, but I'm also not trying to pressure myself. So if I don't make it with 10 books or with 9 books or whatever, that's totally chill. These are just the books that I have here, have on hand, and that I have planned to read because I'm just trying to be more mindful of what I'm reading and just to be very careful in what I'm purchasing and buying. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you're planning to read this month, and we will see each other soon. Bye!